Good morning, good morning. How are you? This is Czar from Cerulean Trading. Good morning, everyone. It's 9:30 a.m., and that means that the New York session has just opened literally 10 seconds ago. You can see that first candle there on the 10-minute chart driving down now pretty strongly. As a matter of fact, coming into the pre-market, we've had quite a sell-off here on a relative basis, of course. Relative to what we saw in Asia, for instance. But this kind of sell-off, well, let's just call it here through London, was the high. Let's take a look. The high down to here is a sell-off of 100 points, right? 99, 100 points. And the futures are now down just 5 points. So basically flat. The futures are flat on the day so far, but we've had that move down earlier here today in the session. So New York has just opened. I typically don't trade in the first 10 minutes of the session. That's that first candle you see there. As a matter of fact, that first candle, the 10-minute, when it's complete in 9 minutes exactly, will be my minimum open range, inside of which I likely won't take trades. Now I'll show you what that looks like as we take a closer look a little bit later on here. But in the meantime, I will also show you something that I've been looking at on the screen. I've been looking at it for years, been using it for years. It's called the VWAP, of course, Volume Weighted Average Price. And this is what it looks like. We're watching that today. We are at basically 2 standard deviations, more or less, from the volume weighted average price, which is that blue line in the middle. The yellow lines or bands are about 1 standard deviation, not exactly. The red lines or bands are about 2 standard deviations away. Again, not exactly. I have very specific settings that I use for my VWAP indicator. And there's a full playlist on my YouTube channel about VWAP and mastering VWAP dynamics and how it works, why it works, and the internals and the anatomy of VWAP. So if you want to go ahead and check that out, please do. I'm in my 4th decade of trading now, 34 years of trading, 25 years technical analyst, chartered market technician, blah, blah, blah. Long career in the financial world, asset management, portfolio management, some of the largest asset managers in the world, and based here, and of course, in North America. Now, what are we doing? Take you back to the 10-minute chart. We're using a 10-minute chart on the NASDAQ futures. These are micro E-minis. I use the smallest contract on TradingView so that most people can relate. And this is a 10-minute chart. Again, on the left-hand side, it's a 1-minute chart on the right-hand side. Very simply, that's everything right there. The only indicator you'll see outside of VWAP is this one line right there. That's the 20 EMA on the 1-minute chart. Otherwise, there's not much else to see here. We're price action traders. We are being me. Keep saying we, kind of as a corporate feel, but really it's me. It's Czar. And watching price action now, you'll see I'm going to remove that zone that you just saw there. I'm going to put a new one here because we've just recently completed this rejection down, as I sent out to my Telegram group, explaining that they should then be looking at revising their zone mapping as a result of that. I just tweeted out a picture of the zones, the Czar zones, and basically said, these are the magical Czar zones. Come and join us on our Telegram group if you want to learn about the top secret Czar zones. And I said in brackets, don't tell anybody that they're just support and resistance, because then it loses its black magic feel to it. And I have no problem admitting that what we're doing here is absolutely not rocket science. Yet nearly 100% of people who try day trading or scalping will lose money. Go figure. How can that happen when Czar zones or support and resistance in particular is so incredibly simple to draw and to map? And it really is. If you don't know how to do it, you can learn it very quickly. There's an entire playlist on my YouTube channel called How to Draw Czar Zones, or How to Draw Zones, or Map and Draw Zones, something along those lines, but you can't miss it. Cerulean Trading and on YouTube, and it's in the description. You'll find the links to all of that, including our free Telegram group, by the way. I don't charge for anything. I may at some point, but I don't now. And the vast majority of what I do will always be free, if not all of it, but we'll see. My time is being demanded at a much higher rate now. Just in the last month, we only started this last month. It's now November 29th today. We started this in October. and the demand for more of my time and energy is being requested. People are offering to pay me, and I'm turning them down, just for the record. But who knows? There might be some kind of a deeper paid service available at some point. I don't know. In the meantime, enjoy it all for free, and we're going to give away as much as we possibly can here, we being me. All right? The arrows are not predictions. The arrows are simply areas where I believe that prices may flow freely, relatively freely, given the fact that there's clean traffic to the left. We are still in the first 10-minute candle, and there's still 4 minutes and 20 seconds left in that candle. I'm just going to send these revised zones to my group as we speak. Copy chart image. Off to the group. Boom, boom. What I'm going to do now is for your sake, I'm going to put you on pause until this candle is nearly complete. And I'll bring you back so you don't have to sit through the sideways grind. I'll be right back on pause now. All right, guys, I'm back. There's 15 seconds left in this 10-minute candle. 15 seconds driving down, so it's going without us, basically, and that's not a problem for me. This idea of going without it's not even a consideration for me. I just don't care. I'm in this to make money, not to catch every single move that the market makes. What's left of this zone is about 6 points. We're pulling back now. I would have liked to have seen a nice bottom wick on this candle. Since we didn't, there's nothing in it for me at this time. I will bring in now the 1 minute chart as well, so we can look at both of them. And see if anything interesting sets up for us here. Nothing constructive for me here on the 1 minute chart, and therefore nothing for me, period. This next zone is very close. It was the closing area of New York. Well, 3:30 was in the last hour of New York. Last hour actually, no, it was during the last hour, but it started in the last half hour. That bottoming there at 3:30. Bear with me as I learn the English language again, or the Linglish language one more time. It's been a long morning. I have no complaints. I've been up since 2 o'clock this morning, 1 o'clock yesterday morning when I got up. I actually slept until 2 a.m. this morning. Of course, 3 a.m. is the London Open for me in the New York zone. And it is now 9:41. Most people are done their workday already by now. And I'm just getting started in the New York session, which I love, by the way. No complaints. Love what I do. All right, watching very closely now. I have a big pullback. Now, why is this thing pulling back when it's in the middle of a zone, right? Well, let's go back to the VWAP that I highlighted here. 2 standard deviations. That's pretty extreme. And anytime we get into that 2 standard deviation tapping there, we're looking for reversals, and that's exactly what we're seeing, despite the fact that we are kind of in the middle of a zone area, an open zone, if you will. I'm just going to add my session indicators here so you can see the coloring. That was Asia back here, and then of course London, and now the overlap between London and the New York session. Both are very much alive and well as we speak right now. I'm going to put you back on pause and bring you back when anything interesting happens. I'll pause now. You guys watching closely now as we see this potential continuation and drive down here. If this 10-minute candle will flip, You're watching that very closely, and I'll bring you back in a minute. On pause. All right, we're back. Watching now as this candle flips. Watching the flip.
Order filled.
I'm in this now, guys. I just entered this on my own account. Bear with me. I just sneezed. Pardon me. I had to mute the microphone for a second there. This is a very quick microscope, guys. I just entered that right now in the break. You saw me drop the marker there to show you what I was thinking. I just had to jump over to my platform to actually enter the order, and I'm happy to show that execution. Bear with me. 76. I'm going to go for 75 on that. Go for 75. 75, which is right. Oops. Undo. I'm trying to show this to you guys really close up here. Bear with me. 75. And we're done.
Order cancelled.
The trade is complete. That was
Order
11
filled.
points. It actually met me. I think I got a few more than that on my own platform. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna. Yeah, 12 and 3/4 points on that. So that's where I'm gonna say 11 for the YouTube, because that's where I showed you. But I actually got more than that on my own account. All right, and I'll post that as well, just out of curiosity, because people sometimes want to know, and that's fine. And on that, guys, I'm going to end the stream for now, and then we're going to come back if we see any other opportunities here later in the session. I'll just remind you of what we did here. This is a 10-minute chart. Remember, we came down into this open area and then rejected, so there was nothing there for me. But once we had moved back and tapped and closed below, we never actually closed above the 20 EMA and began to round over and drive down. I wanted to see prices break this micro pivot here. Very important to me to confirm. We could have taken it higher, of course, and it would have worked out exceptionally well, but that was not the most certain move. What also was very key is that I needed a 10-minute reason to enter the trade. The 10-minute reason, of course, is that very strong white candle at the time, means an up candle, flipping itself to blue. When it turned blue, I was in. We took this to close the zone and a little bit beyond, as a matter of fact, and we're able to get that nice 11-point win out of that. Thanks for joining me, guys. We will talk to you soon. Here comes the loud music. Take care. We'll talk soon.